Let's go. Let's go. I'd like to thank everybody for taking the time out of their night and joining us. This is Real Bread Life. I am Jay Rome. What I got for you tonight is this. You can catch us on all platforms: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Right now, you're probably watching on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram Live. For the Instagram Live and the Facebook, I cannot work the chat. If you are watching on YouTube, that's where most of the chat will take place and the responses that I can answer. Other than that, I have to flip back between all three because I don't have anybody working them for me. With that being said, this is RBL, Real Bread Life, Real Bread League, and Real Bread Logistics. All three make up the RBL community. And with that being said, we're here for independent vendors, bread operators, and anybody that's out there in the field, in the stores, in the aisle with us and want to share the information. So that's the reason why I created the community, and that's the reason why I'm here right now. So I want to just make sure that we are good on each platform. And okay, that's what's up. So, like I said, I am Jay Rome. Just a few things. Just wanted to give my peoples a minute or so to get into the chats and to get into the rooms. So I'm working on finishing up a couple of pieces to the RBL course and the small content offer that I have for the people that want to get into the bread business. If you're already in the business, you need a little help and you just want to enhance what you already know. If you're 15, 20 years into the business, this may not be for you, but I would like you to share what you know to help those that are just getting started. We really appreciate the engagement and the sharing of information and the networking ability that we have created here for everybody to be involved in. So what I wanted to do tonight was just give a little bit of background on some of the major companies that you could partner with if you're thinking about getting into the business, which would be Beambo, Pepperidge Farm, Schmidt, and Flowers. And actually, in that order would be the largest to the smallest. And I'm going to give you the information about those companies and just, a short breakdown of where they're located, what they're doing in business, and how that could be beneficial to you if you decide to get into this business. We have, I would say, different perspectives when it comes to which company is the best, which is the most profitable, which is given the best return, I would say, for your investment, which would be the ROI, the return on your investment. And a lot of it, I would say, is preference or opinion. But when you look at the overall numbers, the numbers speak for themselves. I say that, and it doesn't mean that because of the numbers in the company order of ranking, which I will show in a minute, means which is the best or which is the worst, because they're all doing business and there is a profit margin associated with each company. Depending on where you're located and what your buy-in capabilities are, may determine more so what company you want to go with. So with that being said, we'll start with, let's just say, the largest of the four. Again, is Beambo, Pepperidge Farm, Flowers, and Schmidt. We're going to start with Beambo because they are the largest company of the four that I just named. And they're basically a multinational brand, but they're headquartered here in Pennsylvania in the United States. But if anybody wants to do the history, you'll see that they started overseas, and that's a whole nother story that I'll let you dig into on your own time. So basically, and it's up here on the screen, I'll just read a little bit of it. It says they operate globally in 39 countries. Okay, 245 bakeries and plants. What that means is there's where they bake the bread, where they store the bread, and where they distribute the bread. All right. So doesn't mean just because there's a plant there, there's a bakery there, or vice versa. So they serve 76 countries worldwide. So they're moving a lot of bread. Basically, Bimbo is the number one company. All right. Some of the brands: Arnold, Sara Lee, Entenmann's, Thomas, Ballpark, and Oral Wheat. In the Northeast over here, we don't see much of the Oral Wheat, but when I was in the Midwest is where you would see the Oral Wheat. Different regions, different brands, but all under the umbrella of Bimbo. Okay. So next up, we're going to go with Flowers. Now, Flowers is probably not number 2 in order of ranking. The reason why they're number 2 on my list is because there is no, what do you call that? Financial numbers for the third company. So let's just go with Flowers. They're headquartered in Georgia, and it's one of the largest producers of packaged bakery foods in the United States. Now, one of the things about Flowers is they, like Bimbo, have independent operators, and they're kind of moving their own tasty cake. So if you look down here at their brands, it's Nature's Own, Dave's Killer, The Wonder, Canyon Bakehouse, and Tasty Cake. That last one, the Tasty Cake, is starting to be moved by the company. They're going into I would say with Bimbo, Entenmann's is the company side of the company. That double word. But so when it comes to Bimbo, they move the Entenmann's product, which is going to be all the cakes, all the donuts, all the snacks and things of that nature. And that's the same thing with Flowers. On the Tasty Cake side, they're moving into distributing those products on their own and moving away from letting the independent operators handle that business. We've talked about it before on the lives and some of the other sessions that we've had. And if any of the Tasty Cake or Flowers guys are on, I'll get your feedback in a minute. So that's going to be the Flowers. Next up on the list is Pepperidge Farm. Now, Pepperidge Farm is owned by Campbell Soup, this Campbell Soup Company, which many people don't know. They think it's just a bread company, but they're under an umbrella of Campbell Soup Company. And they operate the bakeries. And actually, there's one here in Bloomfield, Connecticut, because that's where I'm at in the Northeast. Part of Campbell's broader food platform, known for the premium baked goods. They also do cookies, crackers, as well as the breads. Their cookies and crackers are really one of their major sellers. If you're looking to get into the business, the return on investment on the cookies and crackers is incredible. Again, not going to drop that here, just giving you company information today so you can look that up if you want. If you want me to go into that area of their business, let me know in the chat and I will have that available next time. Next up is Schmidt. Schmidt is the smallest of the 4, but again, they're on the list because they're doing at least 300 million a year in business. It may be more. At the time of the information I looked up and did for this information, it was I think 300 and something million. And those numbers might be from 2 or 3 years ago, but we'll see that in another slide. So Schmidt is it's a regional company. I'm up here in the Northeast again. So they're just a smaller competitor, but again, they're competing. So that's how they made the list. So in order of revenue, let's just go with Bimbo, right? So they're tops when it comes to revenue. 15 billion is what they did in a year. Okay. Now that's specifically which year, I can't really say, but excuse me. So they did 15. Now Flowers was at 5 million, and that was last year's net sales, which is one of the largest packaged bread bakery products. It says right here. The reason Pepperidge is third and they're at 1.2 to 1.5 billion is because they have a 6% market share of the business. And their actual numbers aren't out, but just because they're at 6% of the market business, that's the number that I came up with, around 1.5 billion. Because they don't actually have their numbers listed anywhere. Okay. So after that, again, we see Schmidt at 330 million. And I think that even at 330 million, that's still good. There's room for people to get into the business. The reason I'm giving you these numbers is so that you will understand bread isn't going anywhere. Okay. The bread business isn't going anywhere. It's going to be around for a long time. Years ago, I worked with kids, so in the child care, the school, and dealing with kids, they're not going anywhere. People are going to continue to make kids. So kids are going to need to eat this bread. And as they get to be teenagers, they're still going to need to eat this bread. And as they continue to grow into adults, they're still going to need to eat this bread. So bread isn't going anywhere. So I just wanted to let you know that this business is going to be around for a long time, at least our lifetimes. Okay. So, let's go with the last one. And this right here, again, is just a small breakdown, sample size of what's really going on out here. So BBU, Bimbo, is the leader. They're 30% of the market share. They're the largest, okay? So you put all three together, Bimbo, Flowers, and Pepperidge Farm, they're the top 1, 2, and 3. And again, the numbers I have that I had on the screen are just a guesstimate. I'm sure Pepperidge is doing bigger business. The numbers got to be way larger than Flowers. It's just they don't give their actual numbers out. So we don't really know. And again, I just did that math off of them being at 6% of the market. And halfway around the track, is Bimbo at 30% of the market. The rest, after the 53, it's all the mom and pops, and then all the stores and all of the private labels that deliver bread to their own stores, that bake their own bread. That's the reason why, just take that, the other 47%, that's everyone else, everywhere else, everything else that's delivering bread and bread products. So those are the top three. I would say the top four. And again, it's those three: Bimbo, Pepperidge, and Flowers, with, in my area, Schmidt coming in next. And in other areas, there may be other regional companies. Again, that's part of that 47%. And that's where that number comes in. So I just wanted to, again, let people know bread isn't going anywhere. It's going to be here for a while. So at this pace, there's room for you to get in. Once you figure out if this is something you want to do, we're here for you. Okay. And I know there's other platforms and there's other things you could be doing, but right here, every Thursday, I'm going to put the information on the screen. If you want to get in touch with me, get in touch with us. We are here, and at any time you can reach out and get the information you need. So what's going on, Los? Yeah, we here, man. Thursday night. Thanks for checking in. We'll give my man Brandon a second. Okay. I see you got yourself together over there, huh?
Did, yeah. Dude, I rushed home. I'm so
did,
sorry, man.
No, you're good. I didn't put you in the room yet because I saw the camera going all over.
Oh, was it?
It was
I just got home.
over
I'm
there.
rushing home. I'm like trying to get online. I'm doing a million things at once, man.
Oh yeah,
what's happening?
No problem. All good. I was just over here just giving a little insight of a breakdown of all the major companies, and so I had just put it on the screen just so you can see. I just was letting them know that Beanbowl was the number one. Then actually Pepperidge is 2, but Flowers is 2 on the list because Pepperidge doesn't really give out their numbers. And then Schmidt, of course, came in 4th. The reason why it's like that is because, as you can see right here, Pepperidge doesn't give out their numbers. So because they're got 6% of the market share, I pretty much, just put them 3rd, but you would have a better insight because right here it says Flowers does like 5 billion. And I had, Pepperidge at 1.5 to 1.5. And I know they do bigger business than Flowers. What do you think about that?
I don't really think they probably do bigger numbers than Flowers because Flowers Corporation, they own so many different labels, where Pepperidge Farm, they're owned by Campbell's. Yeah, so Pepperidge Farm is strictly Pepperidge Farm. I think it's actually now is Pepperidge Farm and Schneider's, the chips. So those 2 labels will be combined.
So I'm probably right. Well, is it LePage is with Flowers too? Am I saying that right?
Yes. Yep. LePage is Flowers. Country Kitchen is Flowers. Nature's Own is Flowers. Wonder, that's Flowers.
Yep.
Dave Killer, that's all Flowers.
Dave Killer. What's the yellow wheat bread back in the day?
The what?
The yellow bag, the wheat.
The Sunbeam?
Sunbeam.
Yeah, Sunbeam. Loved it. Sunbeam is originally out of Rhode Island. Everybody thinks they're out of business, but from what I understand, they still are in business. But just like basically in the state of Rhode Island kind of thing.
Okay.
But yeah, they used to have the split top white, the butter top white, and the split top wheat. Really good.
Okay, hold on a second. I got somebody who wants to they want to get in the live. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Let me
take your time. I don't have my little thing from my camera, the fancy equipment you gave me, so bear with me if I roll back and forth.
You don't have all your production equipment.
No, I literally was like rushing home when I got your text. I was floating in the lake with Paul.
Chris, I put the link in the chat for you. I'm going to ask Brandon a few questions, and then I'll let you get in. So just bear with me, okay? All right, I got a few questions I had here for you, B. So give me 1 second. So just so we could give some people just a little information if they wanted to get into the business. And, I want you just to, I'm gonna give you the screen to yourself, and you can answer, uh, to the best of your knowledge. Is that all right with you?
Okay. Yep.
So what it is just a few questions. I'm gonna go with some simple ones like learning about the business, financial investments into the business, stuff about getting a truck, route acquisition and territories, and then a few daily operation and practical challenge questions. Okay. So I'll start
Yep.
with the first one, which is going to be just a simple question. After like for me, like after 10, almost 15 years and starting out, like someone like me and Bob, whereas Bob just sold his route. And, if someone was looking to get in right now, real simple, just give them what would be the best way to learn to get in. Would be actually just jumping in with someone and going out a little bit, or just go find a route, learn about buying a route, and buy the route? Which one of the two would you suggest is the better way to go?
So, if we're talking about our company in particular, or hold on one second, I gotta get my world famous dog off my lap. If we're talking about our company in particular,
You're
the
freezing.
rules would.
All right.
Can you hear me now?
No, I can hear you. It's just the phone. Like,
Okay.
however, it just was, you're freezing.
So, if we're talking about our company in particular, or if we're talking about another company, no matter what, if you're looking to get it into the vending business, the answer is going to be the same. So, I would say if you're a guy that's experienced and has as many years as you and I have into it, you know what to do, right? You already know who does what at your depots. You know who's a good worker, who's not a good worker. If you're a new guy getting into the business, so if you're looking at a route, now it doesn't matter where it is. No matter where you're looking at to get a route, you need to see what their 52-week average is. Then you need to go into their stores. You need to look to see what they do. And I'm not talking, walk into the store like one day every 2 weeks. You need to go in on a daily basis to see exactly how the person operates their business, because you can tell a lot by how somebody does something just by going to their stores. But at the end of the day, anybody's looking to buy a route, when you get a 52-week average, it's from the company, no matter what company it is. Our company, Flowers, Pepperidge Farm, Martin's, doesn't matter. It's all based on a 52-week average. It's all on the computer. They can see everything. So all the data that you get from the company, not from the distributor that's trying to sell you the route, but the company itself, whatever numbers they come up with, those are legit. That's You can't outrun the computer. They Every single company, no matter who you are, we all use a 52-week average, and it's all based on information that was put into the computer.
Got you.
Hopefully that
Thank
makes
you.
sense.
No, it makes sense. It makes good sense. You were just freezing. I know you don't have the thing to hold your phone, so I
No, I
know that's
don't.
why it's moving back and forth. Not a problem. So right now I hear you fine, but you're not moving. So let me. There you go.
We're good now?
Yeah, kinda. Yes, maybe
Sorry,
no.
man.
Don't be sorry. Let me say something.
You hear me coughing?
Yeah, but you're freezing. So let me get Chris in here and let me talk to him real quick. Chris, you're here with just the audio, I see.
Hello,
There he
hello.
is. My man.
Hey, hey, what's going on, brother? How's
All
it
right.
going
If
today?
you turn your phone the flat way, it'll be
Yep.
fill the whole screen.
I got you.
There you go. How's that?
That's better. That's better. I'm trying to. There we
All
go.
right. So I see my man Brandon's moving to see if he could get a better signal.
Yep. So I just want to let you know, bro, I really, really appreciate what you got going on, man, and what you've been doing here with the real bread life and everything. As someone who's been in the game for a real long time, I'm second generation in the game. My dad was doing this since I was a little boy, and he used to work for the company for Weston Bakeries, actually, in Stanford before it was Bimbo and Entenmann's and all that type of stuff. And I used to be one of the little kids playing in the depot, 5, 7 years old, learning about all this stuff. And now I get to be blessed. I've been doing it with my dad for over 15 years. We got multiple routes all throughout Connecticut and New York. And I can tell you that like is a breath of fresh air, like to hear people talking about the bread industry, the ins and outs, you know what I'm saying? Like all the hard parts, the good parts, the good, the bad, the ugly, as they say, because I feel like it's just not being spoken about. And coming from a first person perspective, someone's on the ground doing it, I think is very needed. So I want you to know I'm on a similar mission where I want to start updating the industry itself as far as using more media, using more connections and networking so we can build together. And this is kind of like my first attempt to, pull an olive branch out and reach out to you because I've been watching for a while now, a couple of months. My guy Lamar, he said he's been on the live with you.
Yep.
Yep. So Lamar told me about you, and then I started watching more about a couple months back. That's when I got my first route. That was officially just mine, not my dad's and mine. And it's been up ever since, man. So I just want you to know I've been watching and I've been appreciating everything you're doing.
Yo, that's dope. I appreciate you sharing that. And what I'm gonna do, after we get off this live, I'm gonna talk to you and we'll set it up so I can interview you, get your story out there, and I'll give you your own space and platform. So that's good. Thanks, man.
Well,
I
you know what
appreciate that. Yeah, you good now, Brandon. I see you got a good connection.
All right, good. So,
You
one,
heard
I want to say
everything that he said?
I did. So that like makes me smile because you're the next generation in this business. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And that means a lot. And I can tell you have a positive like attitude about it because it's really easy to be negative about how the business has changed. But because you're a little kid, you've been around with your dad since you were 7 years old, probably buzzing around a depot on a roller. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's what you're doing. Probably entertaining the other guys, and that's cool, man. We like to, first of all, this is Jerome's thing, and his message is a message that I want to put out as well. Positivity, right? Because everybody can find something negative about any business. Doesn't matter what you do. But this is a great, great business. And it really works out well for people who take the time, learn it. And if you love it,
B, did you hear what he said? He's been in the depot since he was 7. He knows it.
No, that's what I said. He was probably rolling around the depot on a
roller. No, but what B's saying is very important, Jerome, is because a lot of people don't know about this industry, and like us that are blessed to work it, grow it, build it, and do all these things, we're in like it's almost like a matrix where people don't even know that you can make money this type of way. You get what I'm saying? So when you start,
I love it. Listen, I want to do the round table because listen, you've been in it since you were a kid. You've probably been around bread longer than me, but Brandon's been around it for 30 years. You know what I mean? So the dynamics could all come together and share from different perspectives. And you're so much younger than us that we want to get the people, like he said, your age. You know what I mean? To get out here and figure it out. It's a lot of money floating around. And that's what I started the live with, given the numbers where Beanbo's at 15 billion. That's money for everyone.
All of us. And I know.
I want to say something about the generations, right? Because I always like to say, me and my dad joke around. You talk about it like, let's get to the bread, right? But me and my dad always say the bread been around since Jesus' time. You know what I mean? The bread, they've been getting to the bread since Jesus' time. So it's not going to go nowhere. Where AI is going to come and the robots are going to come. But if we own that territory, we the ones that own the robots delivering the product to our space.
That's right.
Yes.
Hopefully they'll back out the bread for you. Hopefully the robots, when we deliver it, they can just grab it and go and deliver it, like put it up on the shelves for us. You know what I mean? That'd be great.
We got
You
we
see
got a
the
whole
robots inside of BJ's, inside of ShopRite, and Stop and Shop. That robot that's moving around, that's basically snitching on us all day, right? Calling and saying,
yeah.
"Hey, I got problems,"
Yeah.
this and that. And it's like they're using the robots against us, but we as an independent network are not creating our own robots to help us grow and
That's right.
service them. You see what I'm saying? So these type of networks, I come from the media space. I work on big influencer brands. So for 10 years, while I was working with my dad, building my bread business with him, I was also building my online business and all the stuff I did online. So I was building websites, making content, doing all this type of stuff. So when I see Jerome as a bread guy doing this shit, it excites me so much because it's like we have the capacity to do so much than just deliver products, but we're put in a box because it's a blue collar job that we can't actually, scale past whatever that local situation is,
Nah, that's
So let
dope.
me ask you,
Go ahead, B.
how many roofs do you and your dad own?
Right now we have 6 routes.
Nice. So you and your father obviously are working 2 routes at minimum, right?
No, so we don't work any routes. It's all full of employees. And I just got my first 2 that like is completely mine. I got them from Flowers. The previous to this 2 that we just bought, we had always been in Bimbo and Arnold.
Okay. So you guys are taking it to the next level, which is invest, buy, employ, make back end money on each route.
Yep.
Right? Pretty much.
Yeah, so we got to hold up a different level as far as like my vision for this and what I see. Like, are you guys familiar with Route Consultant?
Yeah.
Okay, so Route Consultant, I actually introduced them to the bread industry. So I actually know the owner. His name is Spencer Patton. And just for beef, just so you know, Spencer Patton is a guy who started off with about 5 or 6 FedEx routes, trucks, right? And he basically grew that to over 150 or something plus routes in FedEx. And when I heard his story, I thought of myself and my dad, and I went and I drove to Tennessee and I pulled up on his building and I met him and I said, hey, I want to introduce you to the bread game because I think that we could do what you've been doing and making hundreds of millions in the FedEx space. We could do it in the bread space. And he actually brought me on as a consultant, and I actually came in and taught him what I learned in 15 years in bread. And then now they've been making millions of dollars selling bread routes.
Really? So they're more or less a broker.
You said what?
I said, so they're more or less a broker, right? They're buying most of the routes.
But they're more of a full service because they're doing brokerage, but they're also helping people with leasing trucks to them. They're also giving them, deals on cash cards and stuff like that. So they're making bigger brand deals, and they're essentially creating a network of all the independents from FedEx, from bread, from garbage truck routes, all this stuff. And they're actually creating a network where now we get to buy at a bulk discount the same way the companies do for all of us. You see what I'm saying?
Yep. Like a ShopRite.
Yep.
Oh yeah. So me and you are definitely gonna talk because the network part of what I'm doing, the actual teaching of, so they're helping people get the routes. I'm showing people how to do them.
Run them. Yes. But that's why I see your vision, Jerome. That's why I'm telling you, like, and then the thing, what you're doing with all of this media going live and doing all that stuff, I can help you with my digital marketing team manage and run all this, so you don't even got to worry about this because I want you to be.
And that's what I struggle with because right now it's
too much.
I'm on
it's
Facebook
a full-time job
and Instagram at the same time, and I can't even work them both.
I got you. So that's what me and you gonna work on.
I don't even go on TikTok because TikTok is so high demand, and I can't function with all 4 at the same time. So me and you are definitely gonna talk, and we're gonna figure out all the logistics of it.
Facts. No, and this is super important that I want you guys to know is because me being in the game for so long and seeing how the game has been separated and told just between family and friends for so long, right?
Best kept secret.
It's never been shared publicly of like, hey, this is the way that even that the industry exists in the first place, that you can make so much money, that you can feed your family for generations. None of this has been exposed. My dad has been teaching this to over 50 young Dominican guys like myself that have gotten into the game from scratch. They started as helpers. You get what I'm saying? And most of these kids right now, 23 years old, own 2 routes and have over $1 million in assets. And this is their first time in the country. This is the real American dream. It's not
Me and
that
him talk
bullshit.
about it all the time, and people think we're just throwing out numbers for no reason.
Bro, listen to me. I make money digitally. I work with influencers. I was around the globe. I was in England. My dad called me and he's like, I got to deal with a route that you need to come and take a chance in with me. And I said, how much we gonna make? He said, we're gonna double it. Don't worry, come down. I said, say less. I'm on the way right now. What are we talking about? So I left. I came down. We got the deal done, and now we own that route. We bought it as one route. We split it into 2. We bought it directly from the company. So it's like we got a wholesale rate, as you guys know, and now we got to raise the value of the 52-week average. So right now, today, 3 months after my purchase, it's like I did a rehab. It's like a Burr method. You get what I'm saying? And people don't get
Money
this
in the
shit. And I'm
bank,
trying to
dude.
explain
Money
it
in the
to
bank.
people. And I love the way you guys are breaking it down, because I feel like I get angry when I try to explain it to people, because I'm like, if you just follow the blueprint, you know what I'm saying? We all gonna make a lot of money, but people get caught up in the bullshit, like B was saying, of like, it's stuff that doesn't matter. You get what I'm saying? It's little things. The clients are gonna be annoying. The managers are gonna be annoying. The hours are annoying. But if you could go in and really run this the right way, you can make full-time income with part-time hours.
Yes. Listen, me and Brandon were talking about it today because he had a stack of stale, and we both said, no, it doesn't matter. Still going to make money. People think some vendors think they can't bring back stale. I don't care what you do. You're still going to make money. You're going to make money if you do it the right way. There's no way around the stale.
Yeah.
But if you figure out what you're doing, you're going to make money.
Yeah.
And, I'm going to be honest with you, man. This is my first time actually talking to you. You're very inspirational, and not for me, for others. Okay. You get it. And I would love if your father and you could possibly make some time to come on one night together, because I would love to see.
I'll convince him. I'll convince him. His English is not as good as mine, but he'll do good.
Here's my thing. I want to look at it as, I would love for you to be on Jerome's.
But here's the thing, real quick. Hold on, B. Right. I don't want him. I want him to speak in Spanish. I want you to translate, because when I put the episode up, there's a million Spanish people that need to hear that.
Yeah.
And realize, oh my God, that guy's like me.
Well, that's my whole vision. My whole vision is I want to teach, like, so you guys know the story of Dave's Killer Bread, man. Dave was a good kid that got caught up in bad shit, got in trouble, and then got his life together and made $100 million business with his family. So
we all know those stories. We're familiar with those stories.
Yeah.
Listen,
that's what I will say about the guys on the screen. We know those stories.
Dave's Killer, he is the epitome of the American dream.
Facts.
Good kid, got caught up in bad shit, right? Everybody makes mistakes, no matter who you are. He learned from mistakes, but he actually learned what he was doing and perfected his recipe in a place that most people don't want to be. Yeah. And he turned all those negatives into a huge positive. So trickle it down to people like you, myself, Jerome. This is why I would like to have your father on next time around on Jerome's program, because seeing 2 generations, your dad, you understand by learning from your dad how much money that you can make without a college education, just a small investment, and are willing to work hard and don't fall into that trap of the negative people that are around you. Well, this company's doing this and this company's doing that. Don't fall into any of that, man, because every company at the end of the day is the same way. You got, like you said, great managers, not such good managers, good rules, bad rules, doesn't matter. It's part of the business. And if you learn to just roll with all the changes and you just want to be patient, and the most important thing, have a good work ethic, you're going to make money, man. You're going to make
Yep.
not just money, you're going to make good money. You know,
No,
you
and
just
the
got to
thing
be
is,
patient.
the reason I think it's so important that we do this now, gentlemen, is because you guys, as me, someone, I build AI apps, so you guys understand. Like, I build websites, AI apps, all this type of stuff, and I'm super, super passionate about technology. And what has hit me in the last 2 years, as I've been traveling the world and learning and being with some of the top experts and all this stuff, is that I always thought that the bread routes was going to be the first thing automated. So I used to tell my dad 10 years ago, "Bah, this is old business. It's going to be automated next week, and we're going to be out of a business." That's what I used to say. You see what I'm saying? And next thing you know, ChatGPT drops, and it's my job as a copywriter from marketing, it's my job from emailing and social media that's at risk now. You see what I'm saying? And it's my job
Yep.
of all the things that I learned how to do while I was on the bread routes that is more at risk to be overtaken faster than the actual bread routes right now. So this has been my big eureka moment in the last year or two that I'm like, I have to now go, I have to, the way I've been building stuff for the future, I have to stop building stuff for the future and take the stuff from the past, aka the bread, and bring it to the present. Bring it into what we're
That's
trying to
it.
do next. You know what I mean? And it's
Yeah.
like these
Yeah.
they got all these tools. The companies have all these tools, and then we have no tools. We have no media network. We have no stock. We have nothing to support us. Like how am I supposed to do a 10% or under sale cap, Jerome?
Yeah. Listen, everything you're saying, when we get off this live, me and you gonna build, because I promise you, everything I have right now sitting in the vault, I'm about to cash it in with you so we can put it together. I
Let's
tell
do it.
Brandon all the time, I got so many different pieces. I just need to connect.
I
And you
think
just
I want to talk about
draw
it
a
right now on
plug.
the line with you though. There's a piece in your website that I looked at that you said you wanted to do the bread league. Talk a little bit about that. I want to hear a little bit about it because
So
I've been talking about, me and my
here's
dad come from baseball and sports, and we've been talking about turning bread into the Major League Bread League.
well, I'm gonna tell you right now, so that you understand.
Talk
I
to me.
come from that background. So does Brandon. We both, and baseball is my favorite sport. So let me give
I'm
you a
about
little
to
bit
go
of
get
a
my
breakdown.
I'm about to put on my Boston hat because you're irritating
Please
me.
don't.
You
Please
switch
don't.
around. I saw you
Please
in North
don't.
Civil.
B, I'm with
All
you.
right,
I'm
so
a
I'm about to
Boston
get the
man. I'm
B,
a
dude.
Boston man.
Please
I'm
don't.
about to get the B on my head. Go ahead.
So listen, here's the thing, and I'll give you the breakdown. And it's funny you say that, because me and Brandon had this conversation and he didn't understand it. And then I broke it down to him like this. So I started out with the RBL, and it was Real Bread Life. Logistically and legally, I couldn't get the name. So I can use it because it's my .com. I paid for it. I paid for the realbreadlife.com is mine. So researching and looking, while I started to have the lawyers and everything, as I was going into the trademarking, I had to figure out what to do. I'm so deep with the RBL and all the branding that I'm keeping it. So right now we went from Real Bread Life, which is still mine on the .com, to the Real Bread Logistics, because everything we have to do has to do with logistics and everything we do. But within that, it's the RBL community, and we have a league of bread men and women. So that's where the RBL is. And when I submitted all my information, that's how I submitted it.
But what
So
is the
that's
league
why
itself?
it
Like,
went
what the
from.
league? Are we competing like weekly numbers on what we selling? Like, what is the league?
So as a league, what I envision it being is everyone in the community that we're connecting with is going to be my league. And again, I trademarked it. So that's where I'm keeping that in the format of everything and anyone that is in the community of the RBL community is what I'm going to be calling it. The course will be the Real Bread League course.
Oh, okay. But the way I vision this, so I like your vision. My vision and my dad, what I've been telling my dad is like, because we got a team of guys that we work. We call them Team Mateo, my last name, right? So we got the Team Mateo guys, and that's like all the young Dominican guys that we got backing us up, right? And basically, they play softball. They're all athletes. Like, we all are athletes. You get what I'm saying? So everybody's like play softball, baseball, basketball, football, whatever, right? And basically, we always competing and you know, ragging on each other. How much you sold last week? How much you sold this week? You know what I'm saying? And like, how much sales? Or you didn't really make no money. You know what I mean? So we just internally talking shit to each other about who's making more money weekly. You get what I'm saying? So I want to turn that into an actually game board where like we could bet money on it and like, yo, all right, I got B's gonna beat out Jerome this week by $20. You know what I'm saying? Like it's the big push week, like little stuff like that. And we actually competing with like full, like me and my dad, my 6 routes versus somebody else who got 6, 7 routes. You know what I'm saying? And we're all competing type of stuff. That was my vision.
It's not a bad vision. And again, once we get offline, we could chop it up as far as how we could help each other to put it together, to connect it in different ways from different regions. And see, the thing about us three, we're all here. We're all in the same area, so to say, just in the same, you know, region. And what I would like to do is, you just said about traveling and you know, I've been out the country. I've been all over this country. I'm not thinking this region. I'm thinking globally. So we could start here, but I want to go everywhere.
The reason I want to lead that Spanish movement and all this stuff, like with helping people get into this game, because again, my parents, my dad being a first generation immigrant, this changed my generational trajectory. You know what I mean? I couldn't have gotten into the opportunities I gotten online and influencers and all that stuff, and my dad didn't build this lifestyle for me through bread. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not an idiot. You know what I mean? So like, I understand. I got into UConn and I dropped out of UConn because when I went there and they told me it was going to be 25, 40,000, and I thought about every night my dad had to wake up to go deliver that product for the same education that I was getting at the community college back home. I said, fuck this. You know what I mean? I can't afford to put my family's all that money. We could go buy 7 more routes. What you mean?
Flip that money.
Love this kid, man. I love this kid, man.
Chris, listen, we're gonna definitely chop it up, man, and we're gonna build. I'm glad that you came on, man, and I stick with the same format. You asked to get on, I put the link in there, and this is probably gonna be one of the great connections that we've made.
Nah, this is all live stream, man. We about to document it for the world. This is the moment that the bread industry changed when all 3 of us came together.
They're gonna be able to see where this started when they see where we go.
Yep, and I see the vision. That's why I know we gotta talk offline and do our thing, but I want you to know, like, I really see the vision and I see what you're doing, and I appreciate it as, again, someone who's been in the game for a long time with my dad, and it's been so difficult as he's trained probably over 150 people that's gotten into the game. You get what I'm saying? And out of those 150, I can honestly say we got 50 strong case study examples of young guys who literally started as helpers folding trays and now own their own Pepperidge, Wonder, Bimbo routes. They have a house, they have 2 cars and a kid, and they're all paid for by the bread. And this is when I was out of the country, I said, this is the real American dream that no one's talking about right now. This is the real stuff that's going to help people buy houses and be able to sustain themselves, because we know because through COVID, through whatever crisis, they print more money. The price goes up on the bread. We still make more money. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Every other industry ain't like that. And if you think it's like that, you're going to get when COVID hits and everybody else shut down, but we making more money than we know what to do with. Everybody's losing their minds. Right. And we like, I mean, I guess let it go a little bit longer at this point.
Yeah, so we weathered the storm. And unfortunately, out of that bad situation, a lot of us did good. And if you're smart, you did great, because you turned, like you said, that money into other hustles and businesses. So what I definitely want to do is, I got to do some other things. I got to get off, but I'm glad you got on. I'm going to turn the live off and I'm going to chop it up with you. I'm glad Brandon got on tonight too, because Like he said, he loves your enthusiasm. This dude is a bread man for real, bread man.
Oh no, I've been listening to him talking on the show. I've watched others. That's what I'm telling you guys. Like, you guys are dropping sauce that a lot of the wisdom that he's dropping, the insight that you're dropping. Like, this is all different perspectives that a lot of people are not getting. You know what I mean? And I as someone who's listening, and I've been around this game for so long. My dad has had his mentors that have taught him, that taught me. You get what I'm saying? Like, all of these different things that we learn, it kind of generation by generation, it starts to get a little bit more diluted, right? And this is the moment where we all get to have that roundtable discussion and really bring it back to the distilled goal of what it was supposed to be like. You know what I mean?
I just want to, just, one thing quick. Everything that Jerome and I talk about, it's real life and it's the truth. And somebody having like you at your age group, keep that positive spirit, man, because it's all you need. It's all you need. And everything else will fall into place, man. All right? Pleasure to meet you, man.
Pleasure, man. I love it. I'm going to definitely connect with you guys, all right?
All right. Yeah, hold on a second. B, I'll see you in the morning.
All right, peace.
All right, peace. So I'd like to thank everybody for checking in on all the platforms. Again, this is RBL, Real Bread Life. You can catch us everywhere. Facebook is Real Bread Life with 2 E's and the Real Bread Life. And Instagram is Real Bread Life. TikTok is Breadville. You're watching on YouTube. The website is Real Bread Life, Real Bread League, RBLjug.com. I'm all over the place. That's all I got for now. Stay blessed. Keep stacking. I would also like to thank Chris for checking in and sharing his information, his history, and his enthusiasm. And stay tuned. We got a lot more. I know we're going to do some things together, and it's going to be very dope. So I just want to say thank you, man, for
sure. Thank you,
joining. All right. And thanks to my man, Brandon, as always. He knows what it is.